The secret is out, the doors are kicked in, and the mystery of Nance's disappearance has finally hit a dead end for those responsible. Right now, Annie Guthrie and Tommaso Sioni are sitting in federal custody. This isn't a theory, and it isn't a leaked rumor anymore. The FBI has officially moved in, and the evidence they've uncovered is enough to make your blood run cold. We are talking about a calculated kidnapping, a missing hour that has finally been accounted for, and a digital trail that Annie thought she had burned to the ground. But this isn't just about a personal grudge. The FBI has officially uncovered a digital gold mine that was worth killing for. We are talking about millions in Bitcoin and a level of corruption that reaches deep into the Pima County Department. Today, I am showing you the exact footage, the forensic pings, and the secret don't contact that Nancy tried to reach in her final moments of freedom. This is the moment everything they built collapses. For months, the world watched as Annie Guthrie maintained a mask of perfect composure. She was the Ice Queen, the woman who always had an answer for every inconsistency. Beside her was Tommaso Sioni, the silent shadow who never spoke but was always there, lurking in the background of every frame. But behind that Ice Queen exterior was a desperate woman facing a financial nightmare. New evidence suggests that Nancy Guthrie wasn't just a relative or a friend. She was the holder of a private key to a Bitcoin wallet containing over $45 million. Annie and Tommaso didn't just want Nancy gone. They wanted her codes. This wasn't a sudden crime. It was a slow, calculated harvest of information. Annie had spent years tracking Nancy's financial movements, but Nancy was smart. She kept her private keys offline, in a cold storage wallet that required physical access and a secondary multi-SIG password. But here is where the suspense turns into a nightmare. FBI cyber investigators discovered that in the weeks leading up to the kidnapping, someone had been accessing the dark web from a computer inside Annie's home. They weren't just browsing. They were looking for cleaners, professionals who specialize in making people disappear without a trace. The search history included chilling queries about non-traceable sedatives and signal jammers. It turns out, Tommaso wasn't just the muscle. He was the bridge between Annie's social world and a dark underground network. The FBI found encrypted chats where Tommaso was negotiating a price for a secure extraction service. They didn't just want to take Nancy. They wanted to erase her existence. The involvement of the Pima County Department adds a layer of betrayal that is hard to stomach. The FBI has confirmed that high-ranking officials were in on the plot. These weren't just insiders. These were people with access to surveillance tech, police frequencies, and transport logs. They provided the ghost path for Annie and Tommaso to move Nancy without being detected by local city cameras. Nancy had discovered that the Pima County Department wasn't just ignoring Annie's moves. They were actively clearing the way. Every time Nancy tried to report a suspicious vehicle or a strange man lingering near her home, the police reports would vanish from the system before they could even be processed. Nancy even kept a log of these missing reports, a diary of the system failing her, which the FBI recovered from a hidden floorboard in her bedroom. The night it happened was orchestrated like a professional heist. Nancy received a message: the Pima County investigators are here. They have proof of the Bitcoin theft. Meet us at the property for protection. Nancy, thinking she was being rescued by the law, walked straight into the lion's den, a secluded estate tied to Tommaso through a web of offshore shell companies. For 60 minutes, the infamous missing hour, Nancy's phone went dark. But here's what the Pima County collaborators didn't know. The FBI had already been monitoring the Bitcoin wallet's activity. The blockchain doesn't lie. At exactly 11:15 p.m., while Nancy was being held at the property, a transfer was attempted. The Pima County officials thought their internal servers would mask the origin, but they underestimated the FBI's cyber forensics division. The IP address? It led directly to a terminal inside a Pima County government building. Specifically, an office that was supposed to be empty at that hour. But the most terrifying discovery was the interrogation tape found on a cloud server linked to Tommaso. It's a grainy, audio-only file. In it, you can hear Nancy's voice, trembling but defiant, refusing to give up the final passphrase for the Bitcoin wallet. You can hear the sound of someone pacing the floor, the distinct click of Annie's heels. Then, a voice that sounds like a Pima County official says, "We don't have all night. The signal jammer is drawing attention. Give us the key, or we let Tommaso handle the next phase. The recording ends with a sharp gasp and the sound of a door slamming. This tape is the ultimate proof that this wasn't just a financial crime. It was a torture session sanctioned by people wearing government badges. This is how they were caught. The FBI didn't just guess. They found the physical proof. A nearby security camera, hidden in a birdhouse across the street by a paranoid neighbor, captured the reflection in a glass window. And there it was, Annie's car idling at the entrance at 11:02 p.m. And then, a second car, Tommaso's, blocking the exit. Behind them, a third vehicle, a dark SUV with Pima County government plates, pulled in. When the FBI raided the estate, they found more than just zip ties and a basement chamber. They found a laptop with a live link to a Pima County server. It appears the department staff weren't just helping with the kidnapping. They were actively trying to clean the Bitcoin through government encrypted channels. When agents showed the transfer logs to Annie during her interrogation, she whispered, "He told me he'd handle the department. He said they were untouchable." She was referring to the director of the department, who has now been placed under federal surveillance. The most disturbing piece of proof came from Nance's own phone, found smashed in a ravine miles away. Forensic experts bypassed the physical damage and found a final outgoing call attempt to a contact saved under the word "don't." This was Nance's digital dead man's switch. When she realized the Pima County officials weren't there to save her, she activated a hidden app. When it unlocked, it revealed an audio recording Nancy captured while hiding in the backseat of the SUV. In that recording, you can hear a man identifying himself as a county official. He is heard saying, "The Bitcoin is moving. We have 20 minutes before the feds ping the transaction. Make her give up the second password, or we all go down. I didn't risk my pension for a failed transfer." This recording continues, capturing a struggle and Annie's cold voice demanding the phrase. The betrayal is systemic. The FBI has already issued 5 more warrants for individuals within the Pima County Department. Annie's legal team is now trying to claim she was coerced, but the FBI found a draft email in her trash folder detailing exactly how the $45 million in Bitcoin would be split. Tommaso remains silent, but his connections in Pima County are being arrested one by one. The Pima County Department is now under federal takeover. The search for Nance's final location is now a race against time. The FBI is digging at 3 different sites linked to the Pima County Department's waste management facilities, suspecting that the county officials used government vehicles to transport her. The forensic pings from the third vehicle show it stopped at a remote Pima County facility for nearly 2 hours before returning to the city. This facility, used for secure data destruction, is now the primary search zone. This is not the end of the story. Not even close. What you've seen today is just the surface of a case that is still unfolding in real time. The truth is finally screaming, and it's darker than anyone expected. It turns out the Bitcoin wasn't just for luxury. It was being used to fund a much larger political operation within Pima County. Who was the high-ranking official on the other end of that audio recording? Who was the man who said he wouldn't risk his pension? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Do you think Annie and Tommaso acted alone? Or was the Pima County Department the real mastermind? If you don't want to miss the next update, where we will name the Pima County officials who have just been taken into custody, subscribe and turn on notifications. The truth always leaks, and when it does, we'll be here to break it down. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the most explosive update yet. The story isn't over. It's just finally being told in full.